Hotel. What up, brothers and sisters? This is your brother Chakra Breathing, hollering at you again. And today, we're going to talk about chakras and breathing exercises and auras and all that good stuff. Now, why would I talk about the aura? What's the purpose of breathing correctly? Let's get into that. A lot of people walk around breathing in and out of their mouths, and y'all look lost when you do that. Why? Because the energy is not circulating right. And doesn't it just look awkward? You're walking around like this. You look like you're in a daze. And most likely you are. Because the energy is not circulating throughout your body properly. What you want to do, you want to breathe in through the nose and out the mouth. Or breathe in and out the nose itself. Just when you're doing your everyday activities. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in meditation. However, if you want to start meditating, I would suggest using this exercise as breathing in through the nose. Don't use the mouth to breathe in and breathe out, or at least breathing in. You can breathe out, but you want to breathe in through the nose at least. And you want to straighten your back up. Don't arc your back like a C. You want to make sure that that life force energy is circulating throughout your body properly. And one of the reasons why we can't concentrate or we are overly emotional is because of incorrect breathing, first of all. So, one of the ways we've been taught to breathe because of society, wanting us to walk around all macho or with our chest all out, or because we slouch or whatever, we have thrown our breathing off. So what we do is that we learn how to breathe properly. How do you do that? Well, you breathe through the diaphragm. When you breathe in, you make your stomach come out. And when you breathe out, you suck your stomach completely in. Breathing in, breathing out. And what you could do is when you breathe in, you count to 4. Hold it, count to 4. Breathe out, count to 4. Hold it, count to 4. And this rhythm is actually going to put you in a state, kind of like a trance state. And this is when you want to start doing your prayers and your visualizations. Because what you're doing is you're impressing what you want onto your life force. And you might could say connecting with your subconscious. So you're pulling this towards you. Another thing you want to keep in mind is we have to make ourselves feel good. Okay? Because if you're always feeling bad, thinking about all these negative things, you're attracting more negative things to you because of the emotional energy that is put into it. So if you put more positive emotional energy into life and basically focus on the things that you want, you'll get those things to come to you easier. Like for instance, a lot of times when bad things happen to people, or they get in like car accidents or they trip and fall, they're thinking about negative things before it happens. Sometimes they're in a bad mood before it happens. So they draw this energy towards them. Now, what does this have to do with the aura? Well, your auric field is kind of like a skin of protection around you. It's also a field of information. A lot of times when you get around certain people, they have holes in their aura. And by being around them, they have a way of making you feel like drained, or you're tired around them, or you're not motivated while they're in your presence. But for some reason, they feel the need to be around you all the time. And what that is that they're taking some of your energy. And they might not realize that they're doing this. But there is a way that you can protect yourself. And this is where sound vibrations come into play. And understanding the roles that the chakras play in all this. Like, for instance, each chakra has a sound, right? Like, you have Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. And you have Lam, that's for your root chakra, And then you have Vam, which is for your reproductive. And then you have Ram, that's for your solar plexus area, which is dealing with the will and willpower, okay? And then when you get to your heart, you got Yam. And then you got Ham for the throat. And then here, some say that this is Om, and some will say Saham, and some will say Om is at the crown of the head. Or some would just say that this chakra right here is silent. Whatever. There's various schools of thought. Don't get caught up on the differences. Just see what works for you. A lot of times what I do to clear myself is I will sit down and I will breathe the color of each chakra. Breathing into the nose. And for instance, you got the root chakra. You can breathe in, count to 4, breathe out, count to 4. Do that with each chakra. And what you're doing is you're breathing the colors throughout your whole body. Okay? So when you breathe in the red color, representing the grounding chakra, in Sanskrit they say Muladhara, you're basically activating that physicality that grounds you to the earth. And what a lot of people don't realize is that the more grounded you are, the more you'll actually bring things to you. But since a lot of us are not grounded, we're always scared of what could happen because of bills, or we have all these fears, we have all this anger and all this guilt and all these worries. This causes us to have a scattered mind. So that causes you to send out mixed messages to the universe of what it is that you actually want. When you align yourself by aligning the chakras, it kind of helps you put things into more focus. So when you breathe in the colors red, you're basically breathing in that grounding element. And then you're breathing in the color orange, which is in the reproductive, that also deals with creativity. And then when you get into the solar plexus area, when you feel like you've been compromised or somebody has disrespected you, then you work on healing the will by breathing in the color yellow. And then chanting that sound, Ra or Ra. And then when you get here to the heart chakra, Yam, when you focus on the heart chakra, what you're doing is that you're focusing on creating more empathy within yourself. When you're empathic, you can heal others because you can feel what's wrong with them, or you can sense what's right with them, or you'll be able to tell them, okay, I think I can send some energy to this part of your body, right? Because you'll be able to sense what's happening with people. But you don't want to get to the point that you're an open vessel. And this is why you want to work with the chakras that are below, because those have grounded you. You know, a lot of teachings today have led people to believe that they want to only focus on the higher and forget about the lower. But I would suggest that you work with all of these chakras because it will integrate you. And that's the key, integration, right? Integrating yourself. So moving on to talking about the power of the throat chakra. When you work on the throat chakra, which is blue, and its sound vibration is Ham, you're actually activating the ability to use words of power and say what needs to be said when you need to say it. And then when we move on to the chakra in the forehead, or that is above the brow, or at the brow, if you may, its color, some would say is purple, right? Some would say indigo. Like I said, there's various schools of thought. Also, when you get to the crown chakra, its color could be gold, you know, or some would even say it has no color. But I would suggest that you work with what works for you. So what I do when I want to tone, they call this toning, is I'll focus on the chakras and I'll say Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. Lam, Bam, Ram, Yam, Ham, Om. And that's focusing on the 6 chakras, because some would say that the chakra here at the crown is silent. But another thing we want to keep in mind too is different schools of thought. So for instance, some would say that the sound vibration here is Soham. And then they'll say that the crown chakra is Om. But keep in mind that Om is the primordial sound. Some would say that is the true word or the true name of the Hindu deity Brahman. But it's actually the primordial sound of the universe, which in the beginning it was actually linked to the goddess Tara in the Dravidian civilization. However, Om also means mother in Arabic and certain Semitic languages. So you might could say it's the mother of all sound vibrations. You can also see where Om is hidden in the sound Amen. You know, so people in various religions might say Amen after every prayer, or Amin, Amen, Om, Amin Ra of Kemet. Whatever you want to know is that you want to focus on closing up holes in your auric field with this sound, Om. This is what Om does. It thickens the aura. It seals up holes in the auric field. Like for instance, a lot of times people don't realize that when you smoke weed, you're opening up your aura. If you're drinking alcohol, you're opening up your aura. Even if you drink coffee, yes, you're actually opening up your aura. But a lot of people don't realize that there's ways that you can close the holes up in your aura. And that is with these sound vibrations, especially with Om. Om seals up the holes in the aura and it thickens the aura so that it becomes a better force field, blocking out negative thought forms that might be coming from others and all other forms of influences that can actually cause you to go outside of where you're trying to go in life. It also keeps you spiritually healthy and it prevents you from catching STDs, or should I say spiritually transmitted diseases. So anyway, that's my lesson for today, or at least that is what I would like to share with you. If you would like to build, or if you would like to share your thoughts, feel free to hit me up on Facebook. That's Chakra Breathing. Until then, I'll be signing off at this point. Hotep family.